Here is a 2024 Audi Q8 E-tron Quattro in glacier white metallic over beige interior. There's no more e-tron. They have rebadged it to the Q8 E-tron, and they have changed the vehicle quite a bit from last year to this year. It's going to have the same power options, but the exterior is going to be a little bit more dynamic. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and this is what we're going to be explaining and some of the different competitions and variants that go against this with some pros and cons, starting with the matrix LED headlamps that run into the reworked mask single frame Audi grille that's illuminated. If you get the black optic package, all this will be gloss black. In optioning the Prestige, we'll upgrade the wheels to 21-inch instead of the 20-inch that we have here for the Premium Plus. And the rest of the bumper also gets the refresh with the side air curtains that's functional, active grille shutter, and we actually have a frunk. The only disadvantage is it's a little bit smaller. Not smaller than the prior, but it's not necessarily going to be as big as a Tesla. But you'll incorporate about 4 to 6 cubic feet more storage. So I do like that they're at least incorporating the front to give optimal storage, because this is a full electric SUV. DC quick charge, we now have 170 kilowatt, which is going to get 10 to 80% in 31 minutes. 285 mile range. Charging at home with a level 2 or a 240 is going to take 16 hours. However, you got some motivation. Going to 60 is going to take 5.4 seconds with boost engaged. Top speed, 124 miles per hour. Performance styling, because you get the gloss black element on the side skirt. E-tron badging, blacked out. Satin aluminum across all the window trims. And new, we get the Audi Q8 E-tron Quattro on the gloss black. This is the E-Quattro system, so all-wheel drive or dual motor setup. 80 mpgs for the city, 83 mpges for the highway. It's a single-speed transmission, LED taillights with dynamic turn signals. It's the light bar that goes underneath the three-dimensional Audi rings, and on the lower it gets all gloss black e-tron badging in the diffuser, towing up to 4,000 pounds, which it's a good little treat when you're looking for a full electric vehicle that you could tow that much and you're still getting decent range. Power liftgate going into 28.5 cubic feet of storage. Move this out of the way so you can see the 12-volt charger, storage nooks on both sides, and underneath the floor is where you're going to receive the frunk and a spare tire. Split fold the rear bench in the back at a 40-60 split with the pass-through. That's going to increase the cargo to 56.4 cubic feet. Because this is not the Sportback, you will get optimal storage capacity. Beige interior, leather bucket front seats, 12-way power seat adjustment, heated and ventilated. Memory for the driver, Valcona leather with massage and 18-way power adjustment will be on the Prestige trim. Headroom starts at 38.1 inches, legroom at 40.8 inches. It's a wider interior for the front occupants, more driver-focused setup, e-tron badging on the passenger side, which gives a 2-tier for the dashboard with the natural wood that runs into the air vents in the center, and the 10.1 MMI touchscreen with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio, Sirius XM with 360L. Put it into reverse. We have a 360-degree reverse camera, or Audi calls it top view. Click here, and you can change that icon that way, or you can just do it with your finger. And if you click on this side, it will go on the sides that you're clicking. Go back here, and you have multiple camera positions for reversing. Put it back into park. The lower drive for the climate control, heated and ventilated seats, the driver mode select, which when you click onto that, it will go up here. You can do it individually, which can make it more sport drive for the drive, suspension, and so forth. And you can change the rear climate control from the front. The gear lever is going to be unique to the e-tron, and I do like the palm holder and how they've done this, because instead of leaving it open, it's a little bit more professional looking. This slides up to cover more or less the front cup holder. The key fob for the Q8 E-tron, Audi phone box or a wireless charging pad that also will strengthen your signal, a 12 volt. It's going to be more sport derived, and it opens up into a deep storage pocket. It's just not so wide. The leather wrapped steering wheel, 4-spoke, multi-function, adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, the paddle shifters for the regenerative braking, Audi's virtual cockpit, which can go through an array of information for the driver. You can also zoom in and zoom out and go closer or away from the navigation. The dashboard and the door panels integrate in together with the Bang & Olufsen sound system, and I do like how this is configured because it kind of pushes the air towards you. Double click to get outside. It's a heavier door panel, and it's going to be more of everyday materials with the ambient lighting. It's going to be more sporty, one touch up and down for all the windows, and a decent sized storage pocket with a couple of beverage holders carved out. There's for the memory seats to open the tailgate, the Bang & Olufsen sound system with a long panel moonroof and an edgeless auto-dimming rear view mirror. For the back seats, headroom at 39 inches, legroom 39.1 inches, storage behind both of the back seats, air vents on the side and in the center with dual climate control setting, 2 USB ports and a 12 volt. The floor is not completely flat. Cup holders in the center. Open this up and you can fit a couple of cell phones. Close this for later on. The door panel, double click to open. It's going to have the same materials found in the front, so everyday ambient lighting, more sport derived, one touch up and down for the windows. Same size storage pocket with about a beverage holder carved out more or less. Sliding into the center, feet space will be shared because the way this is designed. But in shoulder space is not necessarily too bad. It's a little bit more wide than the Q4. Headroom is going to be a little bit less desirable at 6'3" because this dips in for the lights. The Q8 E-tron, 402 horsepower, 490 pound-feet of torque with boost engaged 5.4 seconds 0 to 60. The SQ8 E-tron, 718 pound-feet of torque. That one is definitely going to be a delight, and when they come in, we will definitely review it so you can see the difference. One disadvantage is the charging time is going to be a little bit higher than the majority of the rivals, but on the plus side, we have quick DC charging from 10 to 80% at 31 minutes, which is a lot better than the Q4 because that gets about 36 minutes. We have it for the dynamics. It's engaged, so we can see. Here we go. 6-piston front brakes definitely will do its job, and now we're going to show you full boost, which is the launch control. Here it is. It's quick. Definitely quick when you get boost engage, which is the launch control. It changes the dynamics and the feel to the car. It just makes it feel a little bit more edgy, especially because it's a little bit lower to the ground because you're in full dynamic mode. And you still don't feel any of the imperfections because of the multi-link front and rear suspension. So the setup is just seamless, but it gives you the power that you need. The SQ8 E-tron will also have 94 horsepower more than this. So overall, that's going to be more of the performance variant, but 5.4 seconds is still very fast for the size of this vehicle, considering you still get towing capacity at 4,000 pounds, which is pretty generous because this is an electric vehicle. Here we go. Well, can't do it yet. Well, let's show some dynamics. It's quiet because you get the acoustic windows. You sit up enough, clearance at 8.1 inches. That is a good number because when you're going into the rivals, this is actually one of the best in class. That's gonna take me to some pros and cons, and starting off with is what I like. The refresh from the exterior perspective looks a lot more dynamic. Putting this next to the e-tron, you can definitely see a difference. The single frame grille is a little bit more sleek. I like that it's all lit up in the light bar in the back. It just makes it a little bit more futuristic, but still dynamic looking. They didn't change the stance of the vehicle. Some other pros, you get a front, you get 2 ports for charging, 4,000 pounds of towing. Some cons about the vehicle: the charging times are not as fast, the doors are heavier to exit. A plus, there's a lot more storage throughout. A pass-through would be a little bit more welcome, and I say it a lot on the SUVs because that's kind of where they're going at to make more storage capacity. But the glove box on the passenger side has a lot of space, and the door pockets do take care of that. It's a little bit more sporty in the interior, and it keeps the same segment as the Q. So I like how they're implementing this, so that way when you're going up the tier or when you're trading your Q4 for your Q8, you're not going to be displeased in the sense of you're still getting a lot of room. It's a lot more roomy in this because it's also longer and wider, but you have the same setup in the interior. For the Prestige, you're getting upgraded leather, 18-way power seat adjustment. The massage seats, though, is where it ticks the box for me, because when I bought my new SUV, that was the first thing I was looking for. Who has massage seats? I want to get that, because that makes it more luxurious, especially if you're going on a long journey. As for rivals, the BMW iX. I like the M60. That's my favorite vehicle for electric, because you're getting 0 to 60s in the 3 seconds. Before we get back to that, turn radius right at 2 lanes. This is in efficiency. The pedal is heavier. It's really hard to get it up to 100 unless it's all the way to the ground. I like the lane keeping assist because it just pushed me back because I didn't use my indicators. Going back to the BMW, it's a very fast car that's going to be more comparable to the Q8 E-tron. The iX, I like it to be about the same as this, and you're gonna actually save when you get into the e-tron. For Mercedes, I like the EQ, very luxurious. You get the hyper screen, that glass panel for the whole dash, but they're going more towards luxury. They do have crazy performance numbers, in which when I did the review on that, it actually hurts your head because it's so much power in the vehicle. And a lot of these electric vehicles will do that. It can make you sick, so you may want to play with it a little bit, but drive it kind of normal too, because otherwise you're going to get an upset stomach. I like that both BMW and Mercedes offers the pillow extensions, because when you're going fast like that, you just want to relax. But Audi, you can adjust this forward and upwards. So you have 4-way adjustments for the headrest, which makes it more sufficient as well. Going into Jaguar, it's going to be a little bit smaller. You're not going to have as much interior space. The back seat is going to be a little bit more tight, and you'll have to option to put a cover for the panel. And as for Tesla, I usually don't like to do comparisons to them too much, because they're usually going to be better in the range and charging times. This is definitely a great package for a vehicle to get you to point A to point B. You can do some traveling with it because you have nearly 300-mile range, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like. And I'd like to thank Audi and Clearwater for giving us this 2024 Audi Q8 E-tron for our car review.